Good day everyone. So we're going to discuss about sports rest and recovery. So before we move on to our topic, let me tell you about a research that was conducted by Cherry Ma and Dr. Bill Dement, a renowned sleep researcher at Stanford, and their respondents were from Stanford basketball team. These students were asked to sleep normally 2 to 4 weeks, then spend 5 to 7 weeks sleeping 10 hours night during season. Some slept fewer than 9 hours. And the result of their research was shooting percentage of 3 points field goals went up to 9.2%, shooting percentage of foul line went up to 9%, and the sprint speed decreased from 16.2 seconds to 15.5 second average. Athletes also reported better mood, less fatigue, and faster reaction time. Most of the athletes thinks that practicing their skills and having a right diet are enough to improve their skills and performance. But they sometimes even forget that our body requires time to repair and rebuild and even to recharge, and that only occurs if our body are resting. If rest and recovery were set aside and continued training, it may result in what we call overtraining syndrome. This syndrome was characterized as a difficult condition to recover. So for those athletes and for those people who's active, this lesson will discuss about the importance of rest and recovery, and also on how to have a successful rest and recovery.
Rest is one of the vital parts to be done after a physical activity, whether it is in low intensity or in strenuous activity. During resting, our body is able to repair, rebuild, and strengthen the muscles that are used in the training. Giving enough time to our body will help the process better. Aside from physical aspect, rest also beneficial improving mental health. It prevents mental burnout. Mental burnout can result in a lack of concentration or focus in motivating, leading to poor performance. Rest is the cessation of activity. It is also interest within sports and exercise psychology because performance and learning in sports and exercise domains are affected positively by appropriate and negatively inappropriate use of rest. It allows your body to adapt your work and improve your performance. It restocks glycogen stores, builds strength, and reduces fatigue. It helps prevent overuse injuries. And burnout is a form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped. It is a result of excessive and prolonged emotional, physical, and mental stress. In other cases, burnout is related to one's job, and it's happened when you're overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to keep up with life's incessant demands.
Rest and recovery in training program. Rest in training program. In designing your sports training program, it is necessary that you should also include the duration of rest in every set of activity. This can prevent fatigue during the training, intensity, the demand for exercise, and your primary goal in your training should be considered in your rest time. Low intensity activity, less rest between sets. Higher intensity, more rest between the sets.
There are two classification of rest times. The first one is complete. If you have a complete rest time, mas mahaba yung duration mo sa workout na ginagawa mo, and it will allow you for more recovery of your central nervous system. Mas mapapaganda din yung work capacity mo or workload na ginagawa mo, and basically, magiging strong ka from your set to set workout, makakapag-lift ka ng mga weights at magkakaroon ng saktong timbang. The second one is incomplete rest times. Maikli lang yung duration mo sa workout na gagawin mo dahil hindi sapat yung pahinga mo, lalo na if intense yung workout na gagawin mo. Hindi ka masyado makakapag-lift ng mga weights dahil kulang ka sa pahinga at hindi sapat yung enerhiya mo para magbuhat ng mga malalaking bagay at makapag-workout. And here is an example of a sample rest. The first one is rest time between the sets of 20 to 60 seconds. The type of rest is incomplete, and it is most ideal for muscular endurance, metabolic training, circuit training, burning some additional calories. And the second one, the rest time is between the sets of 1 to 2 minutes, and the type of rest is incomplete and most ideal for building muscles, getting toned, and looking good. And the third one is rest time between the sets of 2 to 3 minutes. The type of rest is complete or incomplete. It is most ideal for building muscle, getting toned, looking good, increasing strength, and the rest time between the sets of 3 to 5 minutes.
Recovery principle. It is a rest and recovery from the stress of exercise must take place in proportionate amounts to avoid too much stress. We have two types of recovery principle. The first one is the short term. This is the most common form of recovery and it occurs within an hour after an exercise session or event. And it includes low intensity exercise after working out and during the cool down phase. Next one, we have the long term. It is a recovery periods that are built into a seasonal training schedule and it requires days or weeks for annual training.
Next is there are other ways for rest and recovery. First is sleeping. It is as important to our bodies as eating, drinking, and breathing, and it is vital for maintaining good health and physical health. Sleeping helps us to recover from mental as well as physical exertion. It also rewires the brain and body. As per the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, they recommend at least 11 to 12 hours for preschool-age children, 10 hours for school-age children, and 9 to 10 hours for teens, while for adults, they recommend 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Next is stretching and cooling down. Cooling down allows your body temperature or blood pressure and heart rate to return to their normal levels. Because after exercising, our body is heavy and our extremities and our heart rate is usually elevated. Stopping quickly without a cool down can result in lightheadedness, dizziness, or fainting. Moving to the another way is massage. Massage encourages blood circulatory movement and it relaxes muscles. Massage helps to deliver more oxygen and nutrients to soft tissues and organs. This not only helps to reduce tension, but can also help to relieve pain by breaking up any residual scar tissue. Avoiding overtraining can also help to the ways for rest and recovery. The FITT principle can also be your guide. It includes frequency, intensity, time, and type. Doing so can prevent ourselves from overtraining. Last way is to plan a proper nutrition. Having a healthy lifestyle can help us to have a better ways for best fast and recovery. Balancing our meals and eating healthy foods are some of the examples.
Hi guys! For today's video, I'm gonna show you a simple, quick stretching routine that you can do on a daily basis in your own home. So, let's get started!
Your face on fire, make it burn, make it burn. Get a little bit of I'm gonna set your face your face on fire. Make it burn, make it burn. Yeah, get a little bit of. Yeah, get a little bit of. Yeah, get a little bit of.
That's all for today. Thank you!
Not very good with people. If you don't start a conversation, you won't have one. Not very good with people. If you don't start a conversation, we won't have one. We won't have one. If you don't start a conversation, we won't have one. We won't have one.